Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the AMT 125th scale 1968 Shelby GT-500 that we're building here. And in the last video, we put the carburetors and the valve covers on the engine, as well as the oil filter. And we actually put the spark plug wires in the distributor cap. And we found out toward the end of the video that since I had to cut the distributor off the other intake, that was the incorrect intake, there wasn't enough peg to go inside this intake. So what I did is like I said I was going to do. I took a toothpick like this, and I cut about that much off. And I've zoomed in my camera. Hopefully this isn't all blurry. I had one viewer comment that on my M3 Leaf video, that it was hard to see what I was doing. And yeah, my camera's quite a ways away. The reason why I don't usually zoom is because when you get really close, it tends to blur. I don't know. You can get a better shot of look at the cobra on that valve cover. So maybe it won't. I decided to zoom it in this time so you can get a closer look at what I'm doing. Hopefully it works out good. So this is our ignition coil wire, which I'm going to 3D print an ignition coil. It goes pretty much right in between the valve cover and the distributor, according to the photos of the real car. But I have the wires, the distributor's super glued in. Let it sit for quite a while, and hopefully we don't have any issues with it falling off. Everything else seems to be sticking to it good. But what we're going to do is actually insert the spark plug wires into the engine. And in the last video, if you didn't see that one, I took my pin vise and I drilled the holes where the spark plugs would go inside. And in a lot of the photos that I've seen of this vehicle, I got an excess amount of spark plug wire. But it almost looks like they go toward the middle of the valve cover. Then they loop around down the middle of it, kind of, and go inside. I don't think I want to hide the cobra part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two off to the side, kind of like this. And then that one will go in the back one, and then I'll have another one kind of follow it like so and go in that cylinder. And then kind of like that is what they're all going to go toward the middle, kind of like I seen in because I think they got one of those plastic spark plug wires that hold them all in one position. But I'm not going to have that. I want to be able to see the cobra part of it. So anyways, and then these will go under the carburetor toward the middle and do the same thing. But let's go ahead and try to get the one side, and I'm going to try to keep this, let's see, that's center of the camera. I'm going to try to keep this here. I'm going to move my wire box out of the way since I already showed what I was using for wire. This 30 gauge wire that I got off Amazon. I got this whole box of it. It's 5 different colors, and it was like $8. It was super cheap. And I'll be able to do many distributors with spark plug wires coming out of it. This is actually the stock distributor that came with the kit. I filed down the nubs on top that are sticking up flat, and I used a pin, did a center punch hole in there to guide my pin vise, and I went down about 1/8 of an inch in, and then I super glued the spark plug wires together and then super glued them inside the top of the distributor, and I It's a little tall. The next time I do it, I won't put as much super glue on the spark plug wires because they are a little bit tall there, I gotta admit. But first time doing it with this kind of wire, and there's always that learning curve, so we know better for the next one. So I think to make it easier, I got way more spark plug wire than I need. And hopefully this one's kind of, I bent it a lot, so hopefully it doesn't break. This one I noticed right down in there, you can see that the yellow part cracked. And so I'm a little leery of bending it around too much. But I think what I'll do is hold it there. And I did drill quite a bit of ways into the engine. I'm going to cut off probably to there. I'm going to cut about that much off. My shaky hands can stay still for a little bit. I went longer because I didn't want to be short of it. So I'm going to have to use tweezers. The hole's a little bit bigger. There we go. Awesome. That's basically what I'm going to do, and then just super glue it into place. And that'll be how our spark plug wires go. But I don't want to quite glue them into place yet. I'm debating if I should glue them in now and try to... I wanted to paint a little bit of area there to kind of... I wanted the tip to be black to represent the little boot that goes on over the spark plug. This one's there, so I think about a 1/2 inch off is all I need to do on all these. And just stick it in the hole there, like that. I think that's going to look a lot cooler than having no spark plug wires at all. The more detail that is, at least for me, the more detail I can put into it, the more excited I get about the kit. So yeah, I'll probably this one. No, you'll still be able to see the Cobra. I don't think that's going to be the end of the world, because these two cylinders are close to each other in between there. Oh, that's not going to hide the Cobra part like I thought it would. That spark plug wire actually got a little long, but I drilled right into the block, so there is plenty of room for these wires inside. There should be, anyway. Well, maybe. I feel resistance. There we go. It's probably hitting one of the other ones. And honestly, you probably don't even have to glue it into there if you didn't want to. But I probably will. It's pretty cool though. And then we'll just get this one over there. Oop, made my toothpick do a flip there. And we'll put this one in the front one. And again, you can buy these. You can buy pre-made distributors from probably a few different companies. I'm the kind of person that always wants to try doing it. Not everything has to be done my way, but I enjoy a challenge, so if there's a way I can try to do it my way, I guess you get a better satisfaction that way. I do anyway. But yeah, I can mess with these a little bit. Spark plug wires, that's awesome. And then this one will just basically come around and loop around and go in the little ignition coil I'm gonna 3D print for it. Now this one, don't know that I'm gonna cut a whole lot off of these because, like I said, and I probably won't super glue these in yet, because I might want to take these off because I really think I want to do that fuel rail and then use the black 30 gauge wire to make the fuel lines go into each carburetor. I think that would be really cool. So I might. That is so awesome. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and check out your work. Oh, don't drop the engine, that'd be horrible. I'm gonna cut off half, as maybe a little over a quarter for that one. And I used the smallest drill bit that I had. I just realized I got my glasses on. I usually take them off so I could see better. These glasses don't have the bifocals in them, so it's kind of hard for me to focus sometimes with those on. A little better. And again, I wasn't going to be so... I think it'd be cool to do the firing order correctly, but I opted not to be that picky on this model. Yeah, I think we'll just get them in the position we want and call that good. I don't know, maybe leaving more wire would be... keep it from popping out maybe a little bit better. For some reason I'm getting lots of resistance on this side. let's get you over where you need to be. We'll have to cut a little more off, I think. Just a little bit more. It might have been the way I got it with the cutters too. It might have put a... Come on, go inside. There you go. That's better. Definitely gonna want to glue them down when they're done. Alright, and then go with you. Give you kind of the same bend. Oh, I just realized we've got to paint the starter too. I missed that. And I'll have to think about how I want to do that fuel rail. But I'm definitely going to want to super glue them in, I can see. But I want to paint the boots and get my fuel rail on. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it though. Don't break your oil filter off either. I'll have to see. I might have to cut a little more the wire off. Seems to be hitting something. But anyways, you get the idea. I'll figure out this one especially doesn't want to stay in. But once it's glued down, it'll be fine. And I might have to open the... I did do some touch-up painting around the holes after I drilled them because it took away the paint. So I might have closed them holes up a little bit. I can take my pin and just poke in there. But anyways, let's just, for fun, say we did. Throw our... It's not gonna stay, but I was worried about if the wires would clear. And they will. I'll put my glasses on and see if I can get you a decent view of this. It's a little crooked. Don't want to glue that on until I get the... Anyways, yeah, yellow spark plug wires for our engine. I was really worried that it'd stick up too far on the they're already starting to pop out on this side. Definitely got to glue them in. And then this one will just kind of loop around. It'll be a smaller wire. But that will be that. Another view, and that's from the side, kind of from the back. on the front. Yeah, next time, as you can see here, where they go into the distributor, I super glued too far up in it so that they're sticking up a little higher than I would like. I am going to paint a little bit of the around there so it looks like boot too, but next time I won't glue it as high. But there we have spark plug wires for our Shelby's engine. Yeah, I think that'd be cool with the silver. The rails, the fuel rail looks silver, and then the silver I'll end up drilling it into the side of the fuel pump with the pin vise, gluing it there, bringing it up. It'll rest on this side of the intake, and then it'll have a black fuel line going to this carburetor and this carburetor. I think it'd be well worth the effort. But that is pretty much how I'm going to do that. Might do a short video showing how and I might do the whole thing too, where I drill into there and then bend it and put the fuel rail there. But that is our spark plug wires. I thought the yellow looked neat with it. That's why I went with that. But anyways, I'll just give you a close-up here of where they're going in the holes. Like so. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll mark it with a Sharpie or something. Pull them out. Give them a little bit of paint where my Sharpie line is, where it looks good for the boot length, and I'm just gonna put a little super glue on the wire and stick it back in the holes. That'll bring these back in. That'll bring those flusher with the valve cover too, so that's it. Spark plug wires. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.